everybody.
Hi, guys. Welcome, blustery Salt Lake City, Utah.
It's Thank God I'm Atheist.
The podcast.
I'm Frank Feldman.
And I'm Dan Beecher.
And coming up today, we've had hashtag MeToo, hashtag Church2, and now there's hashtag
MeChurch.
Mormon2.
Mormon.
That's what I'm calling it.
Yeah.
Mormon.
Me Mormon.
2.
Me
Mormon 2.
Mormons also.
Yeah. As well.
Yeah. We're going to be talking about,
Yeah.
the sexual abuse and all the things.
Yeah.
We'll get to it all.
Yeah.
You'll love it.
Stick around for the second half.
It'll
guys.
be great.
It's going to be a...
It's going to be a hoot.
Great time.
A rip-roaring...
Absolutely promise you, hoot. Dan. And, Dan.
Yeah.
When you are going to a rip-roaring hoot...
a hootenanny, even.
You may want to be clean-shaven.
Oh, and I am. I've been feeling the top of my head all day because I gave my... you don't shave your head every day necessarily.
No.
But I did a fresh one today with my hairies.
Did you?
Oh, yeah.
It looks clean.
Oh, it feels great.
Looks super smooth.
Yeah, if you it's the way to go.
Yeah.
If you want to be... Can you just imagine how much more hydrodynamic I am right now?
Yeah. And downright glabrous.
I am glabrous. Is that a real word?
I believe it is.
I'm just going to go with it. So Harry's.com has all of your shaving needs at the ready.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, go there. I know you're curious about it. I know you want to know about it. So you sign up.
Mm-hmm.
You get a free kit.
Yeah.
They just send it to you for free. You pay for shipping. But then you get, honestly, you can't go wrong with this thing. You try it. You get the free kit. You get the razor, the 5-blade cartridge.
Mm-hmm.
You get the handle, nice ergonomic handle.
Yeah.
You get the shave gel and a little travel thing. All of that's free.
Right.
You try it.
Yeah.
If you like it, you keep going with it. If you don't like it, you don't keep going with it. I like it.
Yeah.
That shave gel was my head's savior this morning.
Really?
It was just great. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. That thing.
Do you do it all yourself?
Oh yeah.
How do you do the back, Dan?
You gotta use your fingers. Your hands are your eyes in the back.
Ooh.
But yeah.
Mirrors? No mirrors?
Nah. It's
like when I clean up like my neck. Right. I get the mirrors going.
Yeah, you got to, because then you gotta see where you're at.
Right.
But I don't have to see where I'm at. I'm taking it all off. Like there's no stopping point. I just keep going.
And you know what? We're not necessarily advocating the shaving of one's head. These razors are actually designed for faces.
They are designed for faces, and it's a comfortable, a beautiful shave.
Yeah. Whether it's face or the top of your head.
Whatever you got.
Yeah.
Shave your forearms. I don't care. Do whatever you got to do.
Yeah. Well, it's a good one, Dan.
So anyway, go to harrys.com/TGIA. Just get a free kit and see if it's worth your while. And if it is, great. And if it isn't, cancel it. No big deal.
Yeah.
No harm, no foul.
Absolutely.
And you help us out.
Yeah.
So there you go.
How can you go wrong with that?
It's hard. It's hard to believe you could.
I don't think you can. That's what I'm trying to say.
That's what we're saying.
All right, Dan.
Yeah.
I'm going to start out with a theory about the weather.
Oh, okay.
I
have many theories about the weather.
Yeah, this council member of the Washington, D.C. City Council.
Okay.
He's not the first one to suggest this, but he's the most recent.
Oh.
And he's,
I'm all abuzz.
He's a politician.
Okay, yeah.
He got online and promoted a conspiracy theory that the Rothschilds.
Oh, sure.
That
very
famous
wealthy family,
wealthy banking Jewish family.
Sure.
That they control the weather. And by saying the following. This is his official Facebook page.
Okay.
Man, it just started snowing out of nowhere this morning, man. Y'all better pay attention to this climate control, man, this climate manipulation. And DC keep talking about we are resilient city. And that's a model based off the Rothschilds controlling the climate to create natural disasters they can pay for their own cities. They can pay for to own the cities. Man, be careful.
Okay, wait, I'm processing. So the theory, if I understand it correctly, is the Rothschilds somehow they pay the weather
Yes.
to be uncomfortable.
Yeah, they manipulate the weather.
And then
they're promoting climate change.
And then the weather sucks. So they can buy the city? So everybody moves away.
I'm really not sure how the mechanics of this whole thing work. However, later he is quoted in the Washington Post saying, I work hard every day to combat racism and prejudices of all kinds. I want to apologize to the Jewish community and anyone I have offended.
Oh.
Because everybody jumped on this as anti-Semitic, which it is based in an anti-Semitic
yeah, I mean, I'm sure that
conspiracy theory.
This whole theory has a whole has that based to it.
But when I read, so like the headline says DC councilman apologizes for promoting conspiracy theory that weather is controlled by Jews. And so everybody jumped on this thing that it was anti-Semitic out of the gate. And if you read the rest of this, I don't know that he even knew that when he read this conspiracy theory about the Rothschilds, that it would come across as like anti-Semitic,
right?
To promote it in this weird, really funny way. Like
you buy it.
I actually kind of buy it that he just didn't know.
But he just thought rich people are controlling the weather,
right?
And he didn't know that it had that those rich people were wearing kippas at the time.
Exactly. And so I don't know.
Who knows?
Like, I like to call a spade, and I'd rather call this guy an idiot, really, at this point.
I mean,
because that's the real issue.
Undoubtedly.
Why are we decrying the anti-Semitism of this? Why is that what people are glomming onto? And why are they not denouncing this whole other part of it, which is he's bought into a conspiracy theory that the weather can just be controlled somehow? That's more offensive.
Where's the weather anti-defamation league when you need it? That's what I need to know.
No, seriously. Because that's the real problem with this statement in my mind. Because again, read what he said, and he's not like, oh, those evil Jews.
Right. So what you're saying is it's plausible that he's not anti-Semitic. Yes. It is not remotely plausible that he's not an idiot.
Thank you. Yes. That is exactly what I'm trying to say.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. I'm going to move on to the Navy of these United States.
Oh, yeah, good.
Do you remember that we reported a while ago that a humanist was applying to be a
chaplain?
A chaplain.
Yeah.
In the U.S. Military.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? He doesn't get to be one.
I beg your pardon.
This is an
Why not?
Eminently qualified man. By the name of Jason Heap, whose application, which was sponsored by the Humanist Society, was denied. So this comes after literally dozens of U.S. lawmakers, like senators and House representatives, wrote letters or signed on to letters to the U.S. Navy saying he should not be be allowed to be a chaplain. How messed up is that?
That's really messed up.
Are you okay? Do we have to do that again?
No. It's messed up, Dad.
There's some in-studio giggling happening. I'm just going to let you guys know.
Sorry.
Anyway, the fact is that here's Senator Roger Wicker was one of nearly 24 of his GOP Senate colleagues who wrote a letter calling the potential approval a grave mistake. Grave mistake.
Horrible.
There's Wicker's press release after the fact said, the Navy's leadership has done the right thing. The appointment of an atheist to an undeniably religious position is fundamentally incompatible with atheism's secularism. This decision preserves the distinct religious role that our chaplains carry out. Now, as Hemant Mehta on The Friendly Atheist points out, humanism has been officially recognized by the U.S. military as a religion.
Yeah. Yep.
So Mr. Wicker is, in fact, incorrect.
Yeah.
It is an atheist who is religious, apparently, according to the military's own way of looking at it.
Yeah.
Who is being denied this thing?
That's absurd.
Yeah. Representative Doug Lamborn of Colorado also wrote a letter advocating for his rejection. Here's the thing, maybe some of our listeners don't remember this, but basically the thing about the chaplain in the military is that it's really the only guy or woman that many of our service people can go to for counseling.
Right.
There's a big taboo about going to an actual counselor, which kind of sucks.
Right.
But it exists.
Right.
But nobody gives you shit about going to the chaplain. So like for so many people, this is your counselor. This is the person. This is your safe haven. And for, all of those atheists that we're putting out in the foxholes, they have to go to Father so-and-so and talk to that guy. Well, they don't want to talk to that guy.
Right.
And, a chaplain is supposed to be multidisciplinary. Like he's supposed to be able to be chaplain for anybody. For, even if he's a Lutheran, if a Catholic comes to him, if a Jew comes to him, if a Muslim comes to him, he's supposed to be able to minister to all of them.
Right.
Why can't a humanist do that?
Right.
Anyway,
I don't know. I think that humanists are just so limited in their in their atheism, Dan.
Yeah.
How could they possibly?
Exactly.
How could they possibly give counsel and help? And
they might use science on them. They might
reason.
They might indoctrinate them into like good thinking or something.
All right. Well, Dan, you're familiar with actor and comic, I suppose, Jim Carrey.
He was a stand-up
comic actor
early in his career.
Jim Carrey.
Yeah, Jim Carrey. Sure.
Jim Carrey, the Mask.
Yeah.
Right. The goofy guy.
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Less goofy.
Less goofy. Really good.
But brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he is an artist of multiple kinds. He's not just an actor.
That's true. I've seen a video of him doing paintings.
Yeah. And he released one on Twitter this last week.
Oh.
Beautiful. Just absolutely, just a beautiful, beautiful painting of what is being made out to be that nice Huckabee. What's her name?
Sarah Huckabee Sanders?
Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
Let me take a look at it again.
The spokesperson for Donald Trump.
The
White House
press secretary?
Press secretary. There we go.
Oh, my gosh. I can actually see the resemblance now.
Oh, yeah. Once you know it's her, you can't unsee it. Right? It's just her. And Jim Carrey's done a number of these, actually, of these political drawings, paintings, etc., that he's been putting out there.
Okay.
And he says that it's actually quite cathartic to paint a picture of Donald Trump. Right. These are crazy times.
I can see that.
Right. And he's letting it out, and he's not making it be a nice picture of Donald Trump.
No. Right.
So he's letting a lot of anger out. Anyway, so when he tweeted this out this week, the one about Sarah Huckabee Sanders, he says, "This is the portrait of a so-called Christian whose only purpose in life is to lie for the wicked. Monstrous."
Okay, I'm actually fine with that.
Right.
That
right. But what people are getting hung up on is this so-called Christian line. They're because, well, she believes in Christ, so she's a Christian.
Her daddy's a big time believer.
Yeah, and so like, and I think what he's saying there is this sort of this idea that we have of being a good Christian. Right, what that means. Who is a good? He's
calling her out for being a hypocrite because she's a fucking liar, and
Christians aren't supposed to lie.
Christians aren't supposed to bear false witness.
Exactly. Well, Mike Huckabee, father of Sarah Huckabee,
Papa
Sanders.
Huckabee, Papa Huck, I like to call
Papa
him.
Huck. Hey, Papa Huck. How's your day going, Papa Huck? He got onto Twitter. Oh boy, Dan. Oh boy. Not happy.
It's not good when an old man tweets. It's never good. Old white men tweeting. It's always a bad idea.
Watch out. He says, pathetic, bully, sexist, hater, bigot, and Christophobe. That was a new word for me.
Oh.
Jim Carrey attacks at press secretary, right? For her faith. What would be hypocritical Hollywood reaction if he called someone a so-called Muslim or so-called Jew, right?
Okay.
So here's the difference, Mike Huckabee. I'd like to explain this to you.
Dear Mike Huckabee.
You are asking the question, so why don't we respond to it? The people who throw around, who you and I, Dan, would call Islamophobic.
Sure.
Right. Or what's the other one? Or homophobic,
sure,
or something along those lines. These are not like the kind of things that Islamophobes tend to say about Islam come from a very uninformed, very ignorant, very hateful, and fearful position.
Right.
They're afraid of this community that's coming in.
Right.
Right. I don't think we can be whatever he's this Christophobe thing, right?
Christophobe,
because we were. I mean, I hate to say it like this, but we were Christians.
Yeah,
we grew up with it. We understand it on this deeper level. We were part of the community. We're not fearful of Christians coming in. Christians already surround us.
We know your shtick.
Yeah, we know what. I don't think that it's an apt word, but they're trying to make it stick. I actually did some looking around. I followed the hashtag Christophobe to see what else people were talking about, and yeah, it's from the far Christian right, and they're working this hashtag, and they're working this word, and they're trying to make it be a thing with out of this whole like, well, if they get Islamophobe and homophobe, if they can call us that, then we're going to call them this. And it's like, we're not calling you names.
Right. We're not. And we're not. What Jim Carrey tweeted was not coming from a place of hatred.
Right.
He was saying, look, here are Christ's teachings about like not lying.
Right.
And here's a woman who lies for the president daily.
Right.
So you do that math then.
Yeah. And so here's Jim Carrey's response. I am so gratified by the reaction to my little drawings. It is the job of a political cartoon to vex those who abuse power or enable those abusers. This administration has been lying to the American people from day one while plundering the country and debasing our values. And those who cover for this shameful mobster of a president are putting makeup on a melanoma and telling the cancer patient that everything's fine. Monstrous? You bet.
Well, there you go.
So, yeah. I like it.
Yeah, you're on board.
I'm on board with this Jim Carrey fellow. Hadn't really thought about him for a while.
Yeah, where has he been?
But he's been painting.
He's been painting.
Having a grand old time.
Yeah, apparently.
And good on him.
There you go.
I like it when people retire and paint. I'm all for George W. Bush's paintings, Jim Carrey's paintings.
Run along and paint now, fellas.
Yeah.
I do. Interesting that that this accusation of bearing false witness should come from a man who was the star of the movie Liar, Liar. Maybe that makes him an expert.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. He knows all about it.
I'm going to move us to Depressionville, Lagos, Nigeria.
Oh boy. Okay.
You recall that a while back, there was the group Boko Haram kidnapped a whole shitload of young schoolgirls.
Yeah, I know. I wish they weren't such dicks because I like the name.
It sounds a lot like Boko Haram, which is the prog rock band in the 70s or whatever.
I'm not familiar at all.
What do they sing? Whiter Shade of Grey? Something like that.
Oh,
Anyway.
okay. Anyway, Boko Haram.
Boko Haram is not good in that way. They are horrible people who kidnapped hundreds, like over 100 schoolgirls.
No, they're awful.
And just held them, and that was sort of going to be their bargaining chip or their way that they were going to win their war. This has been a battle that has been fought a lot, and finally, they actually released 104 of the girls, and didn't release one of them. There was one girl who was retained.
No.
And the reason she was retained, she was literally apparently according to the eyewitnesses, according to the other girls, she was about to get on the bus. And these Boko Haram guys decided that they would pull her off and make her convert to Islam before they'd let her go. And she wouldn't do it.
Oh.
So they still have her.
Oh, my God.
President Muhammadu Buhari is saying that she will not be abandoned. They're still working on it.
God.
But
I just want to grab her and say they're just magic words. They mean nothing.
I know. It's so funny because my first impulse was the same. Was just like, fuck, just say whatever you need to say. Any God in the universe will forgive you for saying anything you need to say to get away from these fuckers.
Yeah.
These actual horrible terrorists. However, that's not what the training is.
No,
and
no.
I remember feeling that fervor when I was a kid, when I was young and believing, and my God was an awesome God and all this stuff. Not that I sang that song because that's not for Mormons.
No, it's too fun.
Right. But I remember, like, there was at least one age in my life when if I had been kidnapped and they held a gun to me, I would not have renounced my faith. And that's stupid. Renounce your goddamn faith. You can take it back.
To convert, all you have to say is Allah is... What is it?
I think, yeah, you just say, I think you
Allah
just say
is
the
God
equivalent
and he
of...
is the only God or something like that.
Or you say, I am a Muslim 3 times. It's literally just magic words. You say it 3 times, and then you're a Muslim.
Right.
And then you're done. You're okay. And then you get on the bus, and then Jesus will take you back. Jesus will not be mad.
Well, it is a little bit of a conversion process.
Right.
You do have to sit through some discussions.
You might have to go. You might have to get wet.
They're gonna have to baptize you, but that Islam can be washed off.
Believe me. I mean, you don't even need the hard the scrubby.
Is heartbreaking. I'm really heartbroken for her.
Yeah.
That's just awful.
It is. We don't know what's happening to her, or what will happen to her, but it's just. I mean, if nothing else, this is just another reminder of the mind fuckery that religion is.
Yeah.
It's rough.
Yeah.
It's rough out there, kids.
All right. Well, here's some mind fuckery for you, Dan.
Okay.
It involves 2 of just about my favorite things.
Okay.
Beer.
Yeah.
And Belgium.
You love both of those things.
I really
and
enjoy
you love
Belgium.
You love the beer that comes from Belgium.
Yes. Yeah. Belgium's delightful.
Yeah.
I was there last year. I'm going again in about 4 weeks.
That's right.
For about 10 days.
You're headed back.
And one of the places that I actually hope to go is Westvleteren.
Okay.
Which is
great. Who doesn't want to go there?
Westvleteren 12 is widely considered one of the finest beers in the world.
It's
a Trappist brewery.
Like you have.
The monks are making the beer.
Sure. Which, frankly, if there's a better occupation for the religious zealots of the world,
make some fucking beer.
You know what? Fucking yeah. If you're gonna make us some beer, great. Go sing a chant to yourself and make me beer.
Yeah, and so what's unique about Westvleteren is that the monks are actually kind of what's the right word for it? Kind of stingy, I guess, with the beer. Right? They're very protective of it. They do not want it to be a broadly commercial product. There are other Trappist breweries whose names you might recognize: Chimay or Westmalle or Orville. And there are plenty more, right? There's, I forget how many total in the world.
And like a lot of these beers, it's like hard to find. It's hard to get.
Well, they're like Chimay, Westmalle. They're distributed throughout the world.
Okay.
You can get them right here in Utah. So I assume elsewhere in the world it's easy too.
No, it's just here. Belgium and Utah. Those are the only places you can get them.
Westvleteren is impossible to get. Essentially,
that's what.
So you might be thinking about them a little bit.
Yeah.
So to get your hands on Westvleteren, and we're actually going to get to the story here in a second, but I kind of have to set this up.
Okay.
Because when I read the headline, I knew exactly what was going on because I was already familiar with this abbey and their beer. So to get your hands on some Westvleteren, you can go to, they have like a little bottle shop at the Abbey.
Sure.
A little cafe or whatever. And you can go there and they'll sell you whatever they have available that day and in up to 6 bottles. And you're capped. If you want more than 6 bottles, you have to call in advance, reserve a time that you're going to be driving out to the Abbey. The monks will open the gates for you if the license plate that you gave them when making the reservation matches the car.
Wow.
They let you in and then they will sell you, I think this is where my facts might be running a little thin. I think you can get like two cases, 2 of these like crates, these 24 bottle crates. I think that's the max you can get. And that's
some James Bond shit right there.
Right. You cannot come back for 60 days.
Oh, wow.
They do not want to see you again. All right. And this is their way of protecting the product from being commercial.
Right.
Right. They will not sell to distributors.
Because if there's one thing you want, if you've got a good product, it's you want to avoid commercial success.
Well, what it's done is it's actually created a mystique around this beer. And so like it's highly sought after.
Yeah.
Now the story.
Okay.
A Dutch supermarket chain sold more than 7,000 bottles of Westvleteren 12, much to the monks' chagrin.
Wow.
They did it after they obtained the beer through, quote, a number of links.
Yeah.
This is some black market beer.
This is
maybe gray market beer that made its way into Holland, and they were able to sell 300 crates of it. And the monks are fucking pissed. This is a silent order, right?
Oh,
but they are screaming mad.
It's a silent order. So you just every now and then in the hallways you hear a.
Yeah, so I mean that's basically the whole story.
Oh my God.
The spokesman for the supermarket chain has actually come out and apologized since then. They have accepted the fact that they totally 100% crossed the line. Yeah,
man, I would have been proud. I'd have been like, "Fuck you, monks, we did it. We screwed you over, and we're gonna do it again."
Let me tell you, if you walked into a supermarket and you knew what this stuff was,
right,
and Westvleteren 12 is just like sitting there, my mind would fucking explode. I would be I wouldn't actually believe it. I'd think that somebody was trying to pull something over.
Right. Or you'd think it was like the off-brand. There's like West Flipper in 12. West Flater in 11 and a half.
Indeed.
Something like that.
Anyway, I just loved that story. I thought that's
really funny. You're going to love this.
Yeah.
This is we'll close on a good thing. A report out of St. Mary's University in London, a Catholic university. I'm just going to point that out.
St. Mary's. Okay.
Has found that in Europe, we've reported on such things in the U.S., but in Europe, for people ages 16 to 29, the percentage of nuns, the percentage of people claiming no religious affiliation is cray. Like they are, ain't nobody going to church.
Like how, what, like how high?
The highest country in Europe, this is people 16 to 29, Czech Republic.
Interesting. Okay.
At almost at 91% non-believing, non-affiliated. Okay. 91% of kids 16 to 29
are not going to church.
Are not affiliated with a religion.
Wow.
It goes down from there. Estonia, Sweden, Netherlands, UK.
Where's UK?
UK is at 70% are
nice. Well done.
Yeah.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, 12 countries are majority none in that category.
So who's the most believing? Where?
Poland, I think.
Poland.
Well, strangely, Israel is on this. I do not consider them European.
No.
That is not a European country. But yeah, Poland is still, I think once they got a pope, they're like, we're all in. Once John Paul was like, there was a pope, they're like, oh, we're all Catholics forever now.
Yeah. All right. That's interesting. What are some of the other small or high attending?
You got your Poland, you got your Lithuania, you got your Austria.
Oh, wow.
Austria is at 37%.
37% none.
Nuns.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, like, I was surprised to learn that like France, I thought was pretty fucking Catholic. They're at 64%.
Oh. Okay.
A lot over that 50% mark. Spain's over 50% nuns in that category.
Fantastic.
So, yeah, we got the churches, man. In the first world, they're just hemorrhaging kids.
I love it. It's amazing.
So
I guess that makes me a Christophobe, but I
I don't think it does, but maybe. Maybe. You can wear a t-shirt that says proud Christophobe on
Christophobe. I'm a Christophobe.
And then have a picture of Christ on the cross and you going, ah,
that's so scary.
I'm afraid.
Oh no.
I'm not afraid of Christ. I'm a lot afraid of many Christians.
Individual Christians, yeah.
Yeah. So
Christianity, nah, it's harmless.
Oh, I think you might get a letter or two about that claim. Anyway.
Come on, do your best, Christianity.
If you guys would like to take Frank to task for saying Christianity is harmless, please feel free to do so. You can write to us, podcast@thankgodimatheist.com.
Or you could call and leave us a voicemail message. The telephone number is 424-666-8442.
Yeah, that's 424-666-TGIA. It's super easy to remember because it's like the devil and then TGIA. Anyway, hey, go to the Facebook page, facebook.com/TGIAtheist.
And while you're there, on Facebook, that is, search for the TGIA Members Only Lounge and request to join. It is a closed group.
Yeah.
But we'll let you in.
Yep.
Dan.
Yes, sir.
Time for a little audio clip.
Yeah.
This is Mike Shoesmith. I wonder what his ancestors did.
Yeah. That is not a real name.
Shoesmith?
Yeah.
All right, anyway.
No, Mike. I don't believe in that.
whatever. Anyway, he's the latest blowhard to make it to
he's being interviewed by a guy named Carl Gallups, who's got a radio show and stuff. So, and he had I think it's a great theory. I think it's a powerful theory. You guys are going to learn a lot, I think.
Yeah.
So
that's what the show's about, really.
Let's just hear. It's about medical science, really, is what it's about.
Oh, fantastic.
So let's hear about what he has to say.
Wonderful.
I believe that Stephen Hawking, because nobody understands to this day how he was able to stay alive with a death sentence for over 5 decades.
Yeah, he had Lou Gehrig's disease.
People do not understand how that was even possible.
Right.
I think I have an idea. There's an idea floating around in my head why that's possible, Carl. Because when you look at the life of Billy Graham, okay, his ministry took off from Wheaton, right, in the early 40s. You know, that's where he met his mentor, the president of Wheaton College, President Raymond Edmond, and they became friends. And in 1942, Billy Graham started conducting these meetings, these tent meetings, in the South, and he even did a revival at Sharon Presbyterian Church in his hometown of Charlotte. And in 1942, that's where it really kicked off for Billy Graham. But get this, in 1943, the Holy Spirit moved in on Wheaton campus. Many prayed on their knees, confessing their sins. Classmates recalled prayer meetings that year in which Billy lay prostrate on the floor, pleading and crying for revival. Lord, all I want to do is save souls. So here's Billy Graham. I mean, this guy is 100% devoted. The Lord sees his heart, gives him a tremendous ministry. And who do you think is sitting in the background going, I have to do something about this? I mean, this guy is sold out. I have to do something about it. Who do you think sitting in the background doing that? The devil, right? So in 1942, that's when Billy Graham's ministry really takes off. And who do you think was born in 1942? Stephen Hawking.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe, because Stephen Hawking comes from a long line of atheists, okay? His father and all these people. So I believe the devil said, okay, this guy was just born, and I'm going to use this guy. This guy is already primed to accept my message that there is no God. He's already primed for it. He's going to be awash, immersed in atheism all his years as a child. I'm going to take over this guy's life. And Carl, listen, I believe Stephen Hawking was kept alive by demonic forces. And I know that may be difficult for some people to imagine, but I believe that it was the demonic realm that has kept this man alive as a virtual vegetable his entire life, just so he could spread this message that there is no God.
Wow.
I mean, he was a vegetable in every way except the fact that he was like still writing books more brilliant than this guy is capable of comprehending.
Right.
But, vegetable.
Yeah, that's one smart carrot.
That is a powerful vegetative state.
Conceiving the cosmos.
But I really do think we need to be looking into this. I mean, if that is what kept Stephen Hawking going this whole time, I think the medical establishment needs to be looking into demonic powers.
I'll take some.
Sign me up. Give me some demon, baby.
Right? I'll say some shit.
Yeah. Whatever you need me.
I've been saying some shit for free for a while now.
Yeah. So. Well, frankly, the demons owe us. We've been preaching the good word for a while now. I feel like it's good enough to at least get us out of a cold or two.
Yeah. No, I woke up with kind of a sore throat this morning. That'd be lovely.
I have one too. What's going on?
Are you serious?
Yeah. But you and I haven't seen each other since last week, so
1 week ago down.
Oh my
Gestation
God.
of 1 week.
I knew I shouldn't have made out with you. Oh, that was such a bad idea.
If you'd like to see it, it's on YouTube, youtube.com/TGIA.
Yeah, go there and look for that. It's in the middle of one of the videos, so just keep looking through. You'll find it. We had someone call into us. We actually have a call that we're going to play, right?
Yeah, we do. This is actually this call is coming from inside the city, Dan.
It's terrifying.
This is a response to our show last week, where we talked a bit about millennials leaving religion.
Oh yeah,
and so let's just have a listen.
Hey, Frank and Dan. This is Jeremy in Salt Lake. I was just listening to the incredible Shrinking Church, and just wanted to comment on why, in my opinion, so many millennials are leaving. And of course, all churches, not just our former Mormon church. But it's what I like to call the investment theory. The longer you are in a church, the more you've invested into it, more time, more money, more of your energy, possibly more of your family even. And I think our baby boomer parents just have a much harder time leaving because of the investment that they put into it, whereas the Gen X, the millennials and such, the Xennials like myself, just find it easier to leave because though there is some investment, it's just not as much. And so you just find it easier to leave. And that's partially why churches like the Mormon Church like to get people invested immediately. It's why they tell the elders that come home to immediately get married and immediately have children. So those are my ideas. Thanks a lot for the show, guys. Love your work. Bye-bye.
Well, thank you, Jeremy.
Yeah, that was, you're not wrong. I don't think. I think that there's something to that theory.
Yeah, I mean, it's clear that they're that especially the Mormon Church is just trying to get their fucking grip onto young people,
right?
By getting them committed to another person.
And,
getting their lives complicated, right? Like if you keep your life easy,
then you can just sort of go with the flow of whatever your brain's telling you. But like, if you're worried that if you stop believing, what will you do with your wife and your kids, and what will you tell all the people around you? It's a much harder a much harder proposition.
Yeah, absolutely.
I still encourage people to do it.
Oh yeah,
but it's trickier.
Yeah.
So anyway, thanks for calling in, Jeremy. We have some other folks to thank, don't we?
We do have other people to thank. We have actually, Dan. This is getting exciting.
Oh,
I just want to say it.
Oh, good.
Right now, it's getting exciting. We are at 198 patrons on Patreon. We want to hit 200. Right.
Well, we want to hit more than that, but 200 is our next big thing.
We're trying to hit 200.
Yeah, we're almost there.
This sounded like a pledge drive a little bit, but we're almost there. Jason and Timothy are the two guys that we need to thank this week.
Okay.
They both came in at the venerable level.
Oh,
which means
that's great.
That at that second tier level, so it's the first tier, right? You get access to an ad-free version of the show,
right?
And at the second level, you get
that.
At the second, you get that, and you also get access to the Frank and Dan Diaries.
Yeah,
which come out weekly.
Yeah,
we're getting a great response to it.
You never know what you're gonna get.
It's a grab bag.
It is
of bonus content.
It is.
We sometimes have an idea of where it's going. Sometimes we don't. Yeah. Sometimes we talk about just our lives, what's going on.
Any number of things.
Fascinating topics though come up.
Genius repartee every single time.
So if you'd like to join these kind folks, you can do so. Please go to thankgodimatheist.com and click on the support tab. That'll take you over to Patreon, where you can, if you're already on that platform, they'll take you. You can just sign up, or you can sign up on and become a member of Patreon and support us.
And then you're one of the blessed people who are our supporters. Yeah. We have one more person to thank.
Every week, folks.
Hallowed be her name.
We have to thank our top donor,
our Lord and
Savior, Angela.
I hope she loves it every time you say that.
I hope she's still listening.
Yeah. If she's not, no, she's listening. Anyway, Angela, thank you so much. Thanks to everybody else.
Yeah. And it's really amazing.
We bless you all. In the name of the Father, the Son, and all the people. Achoo.
Achoo. Dan.
Yes, sir.
Before we get to our next thing.
Okay.
I want to get a plug-in for something else that I've been up to.
Please plug.
Right? I have been producing another podcast.
You've been cheating on me.
I've been cheating. Sorry, Dan. Sorry, Dan.
It's okay. I started cheating before you did. So.
Yeah, I know. So that's just...
It's how we do.
See how it feels, Dan.
It feels great. I am fully in support of you.
Anyway, producing another show.
Yeah.
It's a fun duo. Taylor and Hema are their names. I've known them for a few years now. They wanted to do a podcast. They asked me if I'd help, and I was like, you know what? Let's do it. They just did a couple episodes. It was a 2-parter, actually, about growing up Mormon. The name of the show is Bitter. And the concept is they're just bitter about everything, right?
They're grumpy pantses.
They're grumpy pantses. They're funny, and they just go topic to topic.
Not really atheist themed, but
it's not an atheist themed show at all.
So much fun,
in fact. But they both grew up Mormon, and they did 2 episodes on what that meant to them.
Sure.
You know,
go check it out.
Yeah, it's pretty honest.
Go check it out. Yeah,
awesome. Hema shares his story of being excommunicated from the church after having gay sex on his mission, and Taylor got kicked out of BYU Idaho for having sex with her boyfriend. So a lot of sex. Sex comes up a lot in this show.
You
so,
know,
whatever. Anyway,
sounds like fun.
So wanted to plug in Bitter Podcast. And you can just find it on iTunes,
look it up,
Google Play, and all
look
those
it up
fun
wherever your pod blasts come from.
Yeah, it's been a delight. So.
Great. Well, speaking of Mormons, you and I talk about them a bit because it's what we know.
I know, Dan.
You build with the clay that you're given.
I know. I met up with a friend this morning, actually for coffee, and we were talking about sort of the common trauma of Mormonism that we all share in this city. Sure. And I'm like, the sicko that I am, I actually consciously didn't leave in my 20s when I had a chance.
Right.
I chose to stay to work through my Mormon trauma with all my fellow ex-Mormon brothers and sisters.
Yeah, we know what we're doing. Yeah. Anyway, so a thing came out recently. We've talked in the past about the Mormon Leaks website. Which is a website that asks people who are inside the church or who have some access to stuff from the church to leak documents or videos or whatever to them. And this week they released a video and a transcript of a woman. There's a transcript. It's long.
Oh, I thought it was just an audio recording. I didn't realize
or audio.
Video.
No, audio.
Okay.
Sorry. That's what I meant.
That's what that confused look was.
Yeah, I assume she has a YouTube channel though. I'm just kidding. So
actually, the woman's keeping it very private.
Yes,
her name has been withheld.
Right. So here's the deal. This woman, we don't know who, went to a man who, and we're gonna have to do a little bit of a deep dive into Mormonism so that you understand what this guy's position was. He was, at the time that she's talking about with him, he was the president of the MTC, which is the
Missionary Training Center.
That's right,
in Provo, Utah. So every missionary going out into the field has to go to a missionary training center. The biggest one is down in Provo.
That's right.
And
just off the BYU campus, or on BYU campus.
It's actually on the BYU campus, and it's a large facility.
Yeah.
I mean, if you consider,
because all of these, when you're a teenager and you're Mormon, you kind of just go on a mission now.
Yeah.
And like even the girls do.
Yeah.
But when it was our age, it was all the boys and like the girls who couldn't find a husband by the time they were 20.
21.
21. That's right.
Yeah. The sad. The old maids,
all the boys and the homely ladies. That's not fair.
That's not fair at all. But
now, I mean, more and more of these people are going on missions. So,
right. So here's the deal: the president of the MTC is going to be a man who is sort of supremely righteous. He is a highly regarded member of the church. He had to.
This is a very important position,
right? prior to his being called
Right.
president of the MTC, because he is being given the responsibility of overseeing this mission of training up and taking care of these young people who are about to go out into the mission field.
Yeah, I mean, there's no... The president of the MTC is not part of any hierarchy.
No.
But in terms of like psychological importance to a Mormon, he's up there. He might as well be an apostle in the church, really. Or just one step down from that.
I would say that if I were to like consider who the stature of this man, I'd put him in the second quorum of the 70.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So
anywho, this anonymous woman went to this guy long after he had retired, under the guise of being a reporter for some LDS magazine or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
She pretends to be that for a while, interviews him for a while, and then like almost an hour into the thing, drops the bombshell. By the way, you molested me.
Right.
You took me into the basement of the MTC, and you molested me there.
Yeah.
To which he says, "I'm sorry."
Yeah.
He literally cops to it. He cops to doing it multiple times. He says he was sex addicted.
Yeah.
Which that's not a thing. That's like religious person code for
he had a sex drive.
And I didn't stop myself from doing horrible things.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
But I mean, it's basically just right. It's excusing.
I was taking that the wrong way. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, he copped to. Now he didn't specifically remember her.
No,
it didn't sound like. And he's an old man.
Yeah, he's in his 80s.
But he very quickly copped to having done horrible things.
Yeah.
So there's that. Now, that in and of itself, sadly, not that surprising.
Sooner or later, it was going to kind of have to happen.
You get a man in power, and oftentimes,
right,
as we've learned from...
And by sooner or later, it kind of had to happen. I meant the news was going to break that it had happened.
Sure.
Right. Because it's happened.
Yes, exactly.
It's just...
We know, yeah.
Will somebody break rank and actually tell their story?
Well, and this is where the story is. Because the story isn't about this creep who molested people.
Right.
The story is the church covering it the fuck up.
Yeah.
The woman claims that she went to church officials about this at the time, and reported it to them, and they said, "We'll take care of it," and nothing happened.
Yeah.
She actually asked him, "Did anyone come to you?" And he says, "No." So that's the story here. The story isn't about an asshole who's a molester. The story is about an institution that has sheltered at least one, that we now know has sheltered at least one person in a major position of authority over teenagers who had who repeatedly abused that position.
Yeah.
It's so funny. One person that I know posted a thing that was pointing out that on BYU's campus, professors aren't even allowed to have couches in their offices because they can't. Because if you have a couch in your office,
you're gonna have sex on that couch.
You might have sex on that couch.
No, you're going to.
You will.
You will.
Let's just face the facts. You will.
That actually is. I'm thinking about it. There are no couches anywhere on campus.
Yeah, it's kind of couch free.
But it's a little bit of a lie.
I know. Let's just go with it.
But no, there are no couches. They're terrified
in offices, especially.
It's actually they're considering writing it into the word of wisdom.
No sofas.
They don't believe in couches.
No chaise longues.
No divans.
No, you're not gonna lie. Do not recline. Do not recline.
No lazy boys.
So the fact that, and by the way, it has been confirmed, KUTV, local news channel KUTV, has confirmed that, I think it was them. Somebody confirmed that that this little room in the basement existed, and it had a bed and it had a TV. A bed.
What?
In the basement. Like,
Because the way that
he had a little fuck closet. This dude.
Holy shit.
So, like,
Because you read the kind of the account in the Tribune this morning, and then I found this one on the Religious News Service.
Yeah.
And they refer to it as, it sounds like it's almost like a janitorial closet. It's how they make it sound in these articles.
yeah,
That was
no,
my impression.
no.
So this
yeah.
is so, and oh wow.
So yeah, apparently it had a TV, a VHS player, and a little bed.
Well, and she actually uses the word in the transcript. It says that, you know, she's talking to him as an old man, right? And she said that you groomed me.
Yeah.
You were grooming me, right?
Which in this case does not mean he had a comb.
No.
It means that he carefully led her to
Step by step
to eventually be
raped
in a position where he could, yeah.
Right. Yeah. This was a really interesting thing to watch as the story came out, because the ex-Mormon subreddit was just blown up with it.
Yeah,
Right? That's
of
where
course.
I first, came across this story.
Right.
After being told about it. And I was like, oh shit, I better go check that out. And that was going on for like 2 days, and then the Tribune broke their version of the story. They didn't break the story, but they printed their version of the story.
Right.
The Deseret News also printed a little bit of the story, very watered down and very blaming the girl.
This is the
woman.
Mormon Church owned newspaper,
And they were vigilantly watching the comments section and just deleting everything.
of course they were.
Of course
they were
scouring the thing.
Here's the thing: the victim blaming is strong right now. The man, the accused.
And along the lines of victim blaming, the church's official initial press release on the whole thing, they had some serious dog whistles in the press release.
Yes.
Right? They referred to this woman as a former member of the church,
right,
and who served a partial mission. And if you've lived in Mormonism, you understand exactly what they're doing. They are discrediting her. They're saying that there was something wrong with her, that she was somehow unworthy, and she's broken. She's left the church.
Yeah,
there's something wrong with her.
It means
not this righteous man.
She probably has something against the church and blah blah blah.
She has an axe to grind.
The man's name, by the way, is Joseph L. Bishop.
So fucking confusing.
Right? Yeah,
it was the hardest name to read.
You're like, what? Bishop? He wasn't the bishop, though. Anyway, he apparently, so his son is a lawyer, and his son is coming out with a bunch of stuff, including a thing where he basically is saying, because they know who this woman is, and they're thinking of outing her.
Yeah.
And so he's like talking about how she's been convicted of blah, 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 and accused of fraud in other states and whatever, which is such an interesting dodge considering the fact that there is audio recording of the man fucking admitting to the shit.
Yeah.
So really, it doesn't matter. Discredit her all you want.
Right.
How do you... Go ahead, but then try to...
You're going to have to discredit your father.
Yeah, try to discredit...
Have to do
what he said.
Right. Admitting it about himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's pretty tricky.
Yeah. But he's an old man and he gets confused. I mean, they're already playing that one.
Yes. What he said was something along the lines of, his mind is still in really good shape, but sometimes he gets confused.
So confused that he admits, he tells stories.
Every now and then he just goes ahead and admits to horrible crimes,
rape,
sure,
a little over the shirt, cop a fill,
asking to see the breasts.
Yeah.
I think that's
take your bikini off.
Yeah, all the stuff. All those sister missionaries in their bikinis. You know how
There was a line in there about taking a bikini top off.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. Did he mean their bra? I don't know.
Yeah, well, he's an old man. He's confused. Anyway, I think the point here is, and no one listening to this, I get it, you guys. I know you're not surprised. Yeah. Nobody is surprised to learn that a religious institution is covering up rape and molestation. It's just another example. It's so funny because when a non-religious institution, when a corporation covers up something like this, I get it. They've got a financial. I don't get it. Like, it's horrible and it's not okay.
Right.
But they've got a financial reason to do it.
Well, yeah.
But when a church
has the LDS Church has financial reasons too.
Sure, yeah. But also, like, once it comes out, and it will come out, people are going, your whole institution is based on the idea that you're righteous, good people.
Right.
And
I just don't know why the immediate response isn't, excommunication.
Right.
And discipline and dealing with the perpetrator. That's the only clean and efficient way of handling it.
Yeah,
from public relations, from the perspective of your membership, from anything. And it also has this wonderful thing about being the good and right thing to do.
Yeah.
Right.
How great is that?
Holy shit. You can not only be on the right side.
Good PR. You get to show that you're doing the right thing. You get to say, hey, look, we're on the right side of the morality of this issue.
Right.
And it's actually the right thing.
And it's amazing.
It's a win-win.
And churches cannot figure that one out.
They can't wrap their heads around it. It's amazing.
I wonder why that is.
They didn't even pull him from the position.
No.
What the fuck?
The amazing thing, though, Dan, is toward the end, I think, of the whole thing, when he is... it's this recorded conversation, old man and the woman, and he's expressing how he hopes, I hope I don't get excommunicated because of it.
Oh my God.
An hour and a half into the interview, he pleads with the interviewer not to expose him, it says here. He also suggests that he's already repented for his past. I paid, he tells the interviewer. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. So this is again.
See, he paid. He already paid.
He already paid. He's done what he was supposed to do.
Yeah, in his mind,
he was held responsible.
He went and told another straight white man that he did it. That guy said, "Well, you better never do it again,
right?
Or we'll be mad."
Right. Lord frowns on this.
And then he's good.
Yeah.
He paid. He's all paid up.
He did everything he was supposed to be so that the organization, his higher ups, and the quote unquote the Lord would forgive him.
He's all paid up.
I'm sorry. Where is the woman? Where are the people who were hurt and harmed? Where's the law?
Yeah. Yep.
Like it's
wrong. So there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to weigh in on this, if you would like to chime in on this, if you'd like to be a part of this conversation, you can write to us, podcast@thankgodimatheist.com.
Or you can call us.
Yeah. Leave a voicemail like Jeremy did.
424. Okay. You have your pen? 424-666-8442.
That's right. Go to the Facebook page, facebook.com/TGIAtheist.
And while you're on Facebook, search for the TGIA Members Only Lounge and request to join. It is a closed group, but that's what keeps the conversation under control.
Civil and good. That's what we're shooting for.
Yep.
Hey, speaking of Facebook, thanks so much to Mackenzie for all of her hard work. She's just constantly thinking about that
It's
Facebook
amazing.
page and making sure
Love
she
it.
knows how to do it.
Yeah.
She's got great ideas. Anyway, thank you so much, Mackenzie, and thanks to Amy, Sarah, and Danny for their work as moderators in the Members Only Lounge.
And a big thanks goes out to the Red Rock Hot Club and Gordon Johnston for the use of their music.
That's right. And thank you, dear listener, for tuning in. We really appreciate you.
Bye-bye.